Welcome to Cruise News, your daily update on everything happening at sea. Visit cruisenews.io to see today's stories and sign up for email alerts.
Yeah, we have quite a varied lineup of news to cover today.
We really do. I mean, looking at today's slate of developments, it really gives you, the cruiser, a lot to debate. We've got a missed island call due to some incredibly strict environmental rules, Carnival's huge announcement for their next mega ship, and Norwegian's newly upgraded onboard extras.
Right, it's a fascinating look at the whole industry, really. We're seeing how these companies handle real-time operations, how they plan their future expansion, and, how they manage onboard spending.
Yeah, and I want to start right with that operational disruption because the details on this first story are just wild. You're looking at the Carnival Adventure.
Right.
So just for some context, this ship departed Sydney on July 6th for a 9-night Vanuatu and New Caledonia cruise. Everything is going fine until July 10th. They're in Port Vila, and they get this technical issue closing the pontoon door, which delays their departure.
Yeah, and a pontoon door, just for anyone who hasn't seen one, is this massive side shell door near the waterline. It's used for tender operations or loading. It's not, it's not like closing a car door.
Right, there's a huge mechanical thing.
Exactly. It's a complex hydraulic process. So if the seal isn't perfect, the ship just cannot legally or safely move.
Okay, so this door delays them by a few hours. Annoying, sure, but because of that one delay, their entire scheduled call at Mystery Island the very next day on July 11th gets completely canceled.
Yeah, a total cancellation.
Which is crazy to me. I mean, we're used to stringent agricultural checks at airports, like you can't bring an apple in your bag across borders.
Yeah.
But this is a maritime rule dictating exactly when a 951-foot, 108,865-ton ship is allowed to travel.
It is strict, yeah. The issue is that Vanuatu's biosecurity laws outright prohibit vessels from traveling between its islands after dark.
And why is that?
It all revolves around one specific insect, the coconut rhinoceros beetle, or Oryctes rhinoceros.
Wait, really? A beetle?
A single type of beetle, yeah. It's a severe agricultural pest. It bores into the crowns of coconut palms, feeds on the sap, and it basically kills the tree.
Oh, wow.
And in Vanuatu, coconuts are vital to the economy and the ecology. This beetle was actually first detected on Efate Island back in May of 2019.
Okay.
And it recently affected about 500 coconut trees on West Epi. So they have strict regulations, including ship lighting restrictions and these nighttime departure controls.
So because the beetles are nocturnal.
Exactly. They are highly attracted to light.
I see. So you have this giant cruise ship brightly lit up at night traveling between islands. It's essentially a massive magnet for these beetles.
That's the exact fear. The government doesn't want the ship inadvertently carrying these beetles from an infested island to a clean one.
It's like the ultimate butterfly effect, or, well, beetle effect in this case. One routine mechanical door delay on a huge ship directly collides with local ecology, and boom, the port is canceled.
Yeah, and Carnival had to comply. Captain Francesco Bensavenga sent out an apology letter on July 11th, and he had already made a ship-wide announcement explaining exactly why the After Dark rule forced the cancellation.
So what did the passengers get? Because missing Mystery Island is a big deal.
They got some compensation. Carnival provided $100 Australian in onboard credit per stateroom, plus any prepaid shore excursions for Mystery Island were fully refunded.
Got it.
They replaced the call with a sea day, and the ship arrived in Noumea on July 12th.
And there's some interesting context here too, right? Because Vanuatu was actually closed to cruise ships for a while.
It was, yeah. Cruise visits were halted for months after a 7.3 magnitude earthquake in December 2024. The Carnival Adventure was actually the first ship to return back in August 2025.
Which makes this cancellation even more frustrating, I'm sure. And this ship has been around the block. It was built in 2001 as the Golden Princess, then it was the Pacific Adventure, and transferred to Carnival just in 2025.
Right, so you have this older hardware dealing with really complex modern environmental rules.
Which perfectly transitions us into our next story. Because while Carnival is managing these older mid-sized ships, they are also announcing their next mega ship.
Yeah, they really are. On July 10th at Fincantieri's Monfalcone shipyard in Italy, they had the steel cutting ceremony for their new Ace-class flagship.
The Carnival Destiny.
Yes, scheduled for delivery in summer 2029.
The scale of this ship it's honestly hard to wrap your head around. 230,000 gross tons, over 8,000 passengers at full capacity, with more than 3,000 cabins.
It's massive. To put that in perspective, Carnival's current largest ships are the XL class, which sit around 180,000 to roughly 183,521 gross tons,
Right.
and those max out around 6,630 passengers. So going up to 230,000 gross tons is a huge jump.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it's an LNG-powered ship, right?
Yeah.
Liquefied natural gas.
Correct, which is partly why it needs to be so big to accommodate those fuel systems. But they're also adding 4.5 acres of glass and over 70% new venue concepts.
Okay, the specs are incredible, but I have to push back on one thing here.
The name.
The name. Carnival Destiny. I mean, from a corporate branding standpoint, is this not incredibly confusing for you as a consumer?
Well, Carnival has been reviving old ship names for a while now.
Sure, they did Mardi Gras in 2018, then Carnival Celebration, Carnival Jubilee, and we know Carnival Festival's coming in 2027 and Tropical in 2028.
Right, it's a clear heritage play.
But here's my issue. The original Carnival Destiny was built in 1996. It was a massive deal, the first passenger ship over 100,000 gross tons.
Yep.
But that physical ship is still actively sailing in Carnival's fleet. It got a $155 million transformation in 2013, and now sails as the Carnival Sunshine.
That is true.
So they're taking the Destiny name, putting it on a brand new 8,000 passenger ship while the actual original ship is still out there. How does that even work legally?
Well, legally, ships are tracked by their IMO number, the International Maritime Organization number. That number stays with the hull forever, regardless of the painted name.
Okay, so the paperwork is fine.
Right. But to your point about confusion, Carnival is leaning heavily into nostalgia here. Carnival President Christine Duffy said this ship is reimagining what guests can experience.
Right.
And John Heald, the brand ambassador who was actually the cruise director on the original Destiny, had a huge positive reaction to this. It's for the loyalists.
I guess so. It just feels like a potential point of confusion for returning guests.
Hmm.
But they are definitely committed to this scale. This new Destiny will sail Paradise Collection itineraries, with a major update on that expected in November.
And they have 2 more Ace-class ships coming after this, in 2031 and 2033.
So they are spending billions on brand new, massive builds. But on the flip side, we have our last story, which is Norwegian Cruise Line taking a totally different approach to capital expenditure.
Yeah, NCL is investing heavily in dry docks to bring their mid-2000s hardware up to modern premium standards.
Right. Specifically the Norwegian Jade and Norwegian Gem.
Exactly. These are Jewel-class sister ships. They both just completed 3-week dry docks in May.
And just for specs, the Jade is from 2006, about 93,558 gross tons, carrying 2,352 guests. And the Gem is from 2007, 93,530 gross tons, holding 2,394 guests.
Right, so they're much smaller, older ships compared to the Carnival news. But what they added during these dry docks is very strategic. They redesigned the Mandara Spa thermal suites, added the adults-only Vibe Beach Clubs, and put in licensed Starbucks stores with at-payment integration.
It's the Vibe Beach Club that really stands out to me. Let's look at the economic shift here. Deck 14 used to be a free sun deck.
Yep.
And now it's this highly monetized 18-plus area. They've walled it off. It has limited quantity passes, a private bar, a hot tub, 50 padded loungers, and 7 cabanas.
And those cabanas are an extra rental fee on top of the pass.
Exactly. It just highlights this broader industry reality. They're actively retrofitting older tonnage to maximize onboard revenue per square foot. They aren't just relying on ticket fares anymore.
No, not at all. And this rollout completes the Vibe Beach Club editions for the Jewel class, since the Jewel and Pearl got theirs last year. NCL President Mark Kozlowskis said this creates greater consistency across our fleet.
Consistency in revenue generation, for sure.
Definitely. And you see that same monetization in the Mandara Spa upgrades, too.
Oh, yeah. The spa stuff is wild.
They tripled the heated tile loungers. They added a charcoal sauna, a salt room, an ice room, and these 4 senses loungers. And they even added an IV lounge.
An IV lounge. I mean, it's just so niche.
It is, but it's highly profitable. And there are specific differences between the ships, too. The Jade got a plunge pool and experiential showers, while the Gem got a thalassotherapy pool with countercurrents.
And these ships are deployed all over. The Jade is sailing Alaska and British Columbia until September. Then it moves to Yokohama for East Asia.
And the Gem stays in the Mediterranean until it moves to Florida in late 2026.
Right. So, looking at all of this together, it really paints a picture of a complex industry.
It really does.
I mean, think about it. We have a port call canceled by a single beetle. We have an 8,000-passenger mega ship drawing on 1990s nostalgia for its name. And we have a free sun deck transformed into a revenue-generating premium club.
It just shows how much environmental compliance, immense scale, and onboard economics are driving every single decision right now.
It really does. It's a calculated web of operations that completely dictates the modern cruise experience. Definitely something to consider the next time you book a ticket. Thanks for listening to Cruise News. Visit cruisenews.io to catch up on the latest updates and sign up for free email alerts.